Whew, good morning, guys. Your boy is feeling so much better. We got something new going on today. If you've been watching the past couple days, you know I got food poisoning heavy and I've been debilitated for like 72 hours, but I'm finally back and I'm feeling amazing. I wanted to give myself one more rest day though before I jump into doing anything too crazy, and I figured it's a perfect time for me to break down something I've wanted to for a little while, is my top 5 countries that I have visited over the past couple years. Surfing and snowboarding has given me the opportunity to travel and visit some crazy exotic locations and insane mountains and just go all over the world. I haven't been to too many places, so this is just based off of where I have been. So I've been to Canada, a lot of the states in the US, Mexico, Central America, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Peru in South America, Indonesia, almost all the countries in Europe, Sweden, the UK. So I've been to a lot of places, and I just want to emphasize really though how much this is based off of my preferences and the things that I like when I travel. So if you go to any of these locations or if you've been there, they might be your favorite or you might not like them at all. I really like stepping out of my comfort zone, so third world countries to me are almost the best. And if it's cheap and affordable to live, it's almost the only way I can really do it. So that's a huge benefit as well. So to jump right into this, my number 5 top country that I've ever visited, I would have to say, is Peru in South America. I went there with a friend for like 5 weeks, probably 3 or 4 years ago, on a surf trip in January. And I actually had a series going before I even knew what vlogging was, called Life Sessions, where I kind of just documented everything and did some after hours talking, laying it over the video, and I'll leave the links to those below. But it's really hard to explain because Peru is a long coastline and there's so much different variety from city to city, from town to town, and when you go inland it just gets so much more crazier and different. It's like the US, you know, Maine has nothing to do with Florida, but it's still the same country. So with all that being said, Peru has amazing waves. It is super exotic and beautiful, and the people there are amazing. It definitely can get super sketchy. It's third world for sure. There's wild dogs everywhere. I almost died multiple times. The water is freezing, but if you're trying to spend just a couple dollars to eat really well, then that's the place you want to go. And it's going to be cold, so you got to pretty much rock wetsuits all year round, but the vibes from the people there and the energy from not only the people traveling but the locals is amazing. And I had such a good time. The hostels are cheap, like I said, the waves are really good, the people are really good. And yeah, I'm gonna try to leave some clips of my time traveling in Peru, just to really, you know, show a little behind the scenes of it. But from the skateboarding there, the skate parks, the beautiful coastline, the great weather, the great people, the cheap hostels, cheap food, great food. You obviously have to be careful from getting sick. A lot of people get sick, and traveling there is gnarly, but the cost of living is unbelievable. It's one of the cheapest places I've ever been in my entire life, and that mixed in with the good surf and the good people and just the real beauty of it is why that makes Peru have to be my number 5 on the list. Working down, number 4 was insanely hard to choose over number 3 because they're right next to each other, two close countries, and they're so similar. But for me, it's usually about the cost of living, and that's what put Costa Rica as number 4, surprisingly, because it's, I want to say, one of the most beautiful places I've ever visited. It's pure jungle, it's pure just majestic territory. The waves, some of the best waves in the entire world, some of the best waves I've ever surfed in my life. People are amazing, but the prices are very unaffordable for me. It's like 10-12 bucks a meal, and you can get meals for like 8 bucks, but it's hard. You got to know, you got to go to the sodas, you got to go to the right spots, you got to know the right people. And yeah, hostels really aren't that cheap. You got to be so on point. Every time you turn your back, somebody probably stole something from you. I'll turn around after taking a shower and my board shorts are gone, and I'm just, oh, all right, gotta go to the store and buy board shorts, and they're $75 at the store. And you, so it's just, it gets heavy there. But other than the pricing and the people stealing stuff a lot from you, that is neck and neck with my next number 3rd place on my list, which is right north of it, Nicaragua. And Nicaragua is, I want to say, a quarter of the price of Costa Rica. It's like $2 to $3 for a meal if you're trying to eat really good. It has just as amazing waves as Costa Rica. The hostels are $5 to $10 if you're trying to stay for a night, and yeah, definitely is very dangerous, very sketchy. There's a lot of military rolling around, a lot of army guns, people still stealing stuff from you. There are people there, there are people getting murdered all the time, and I don't know, I feel like that's kind of something that I enjoy being around. I like the thrill and the fear factor of it. So Costa Rica and Nicaragua were neck and neck for me for sure, and that aspect of, I guess, just the cheapness of Nicaragua is what has to put that as my number 3rd favorite country to travel to, which leads me down into my number 2 favorite country, which is finally a snowboarding country, Austria. One of my favorite places I've ever visited in my entire life. I've contemplated moving there many times. It's right around the same price as the States for living, eating, surviving, and all that stuff, travel and everything. And for me, it's really amazing because I don't speak any German at all whatsoever, or Austrian or Deutsch, whatever you want to call it, and all the countries surrounding it all speak different languages, so there is a very prominent English spoken language there, and it's easy to get around. You can ask any young kids, anybody under 30, and they usually always speak English, and there's just so much topography, if that's the word, just so much epic landscape, the lakes, the craters, do I want to say craters? The glaciers, like the mountains, the valleys, it's unbelievable. All the cows are stoking, they're all eating grass, it's very easy to find fresh produce, the people are amazing, the vibes are on point, everybody seems to be very enlightened over there. Cities like Innsbruck, everybody's riding bikes around. The percentage of people that are overweight, I want to say, is like 5. Everybody's healthy. Even if you're eating stuff that's unhealthy, like bread and all that kind of things, which we don't really do much here in America because it's so unhealthy, they all make them fresh that day there. So everything is just top quality. You can obviously find low quality stuff, but if you do it right, you can live just like American prices there, but be absolutely in just paradise. The snowboarding is unbelievable. Like I said, the people are unbelievable. The vibes are all time, and that's my number 2 is Austria, leading me to my number 1 favorite country that I've ever traveled to, ever visited, and you guys already know it's the only one left. That's obviously number 1, Indonesia. I went there last year for a month, and I surfed the biggest, best waves of my entire life. I was with my homie David Biner, and he put me up and styled me so hard. You can get a scooter there for the entire month for $30. You can literally get massages for $4. Top shelf organic meals, nothing imported, everything made right there. Food and produce being picked in the back of the garden of the restaurant before they serve it to you for $3, $4. If you want to splurge and go crazy, you can spend $6, and it's unbelievable. Gas prices are cheap there. Anything that you get that's not imported there is astounding. And the reason that it's my number 1 place to travel isn't just because of the amazing weather, insane tropical like vibrations, just the beautiful scenery and everything about it. The number 1 reason is the smiles. The people there, 100% of them, whether they're slave labor working on the side of the road shoveling dirt from like a mudslide that happened, if you ride by them and you have your surfboards on you and you're living the dream and you're just a traveler going to surf while these dudes are working, if you turn to them and you slightly smile halfway, they will crank up back at you with the happiest smile, a thumbs up, a you, doesn't even matter. 100% of people there are so stoked. I went to the island Lombok on a scooter and was driving around these crazy fields in the middle of nowhere that literally felt like I was in a jungle or in just some insane ancient time period where everything that these people had, they made themselves out of scraps that they found either in the woods or real material that they built themselves. They're so family oriented, and I want to say that the reason that so many people travel there is because it's so beautiful and exotic, and I guess that's why these people are smiling all the time. They live in paradise. So even if they don't make enough wage to get out of there, they have everything they need. They have all the resources to live on their own. They have a family that they're stoked on, that they can just spread love and be happy with, and they have the best waves in the world right next to them at all times. And for me, it was tough because it was mostly lefts and I'm regular, and we all know that, you know, going backside is not the easiest on a surfboard, but I did my best. I had the most fun time I could ever have. D-Bines hooked me up with so much culture and just learning, and yeah, that has to break it down for my #1 place. So number 5, Peru. Number 4, Costa Rica. Number 3, Nicaragua. Number 2, Austria. Number 1, Indonesia. Let me know where you guys have traveled. Let me know if this hypes you up to maybe go to any of these places in the future, and if you have already been to them, leave a comment below. Let me know how your experience was and maybe what your top 5 places are, if you've been to other places, or if you have any suggestions of where I should go in the future. Pretty stoked. The next couple months here are coming up, and I think we're gonna be going to New Zealand, to Australia, and then to Austria, if all plans go as they are right now, which they always change. But stoking on life, stoking on where snowboarding and surfing and just the dream has brought me, and hyped on all you guys supporting, and stoked to start this new winter season here. 2018 and 19 winter coming in hot. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Daily Sea Vlogs, you already know. So beauty, this life.